discuss, obviously, the subject. The committee meeting going tonight was to discuss the utilities discount program. Does it have a future in Hoquiam? Do the people of Hoquiam actually want this thing? I have no problem with this, but I can't find my notes. So, there are 7 points that I wanted to cover, and we can dive into it in more detail. And what we want to try to do tonight is to talk about some of the actual numbers. We want to talk about scheduling a public hearing so that everybody in the community of Hoquiam can actually get up on the podium and tell us how you feel about it. We can do that, and we can schedule another public utilities committee meeting after that. One of the things that was pointed out to me by city staff is that if we're going to do this, we have to do it so that we can get it into play, preferably before the holidays. So that's going to take some work on our part. I don't know if that's realistic, but that's the time of the year that it hits most people, and it's suggested by the city staff that we shoot for that goal, and I think that's worthy. Everybody, we've had some really good back and forth between factions within the Public Utilities Committee and from within the council towards this. And some really good stuff came out of it. I mean, some big data and some alternate points, and some of them, frankly, seem a little far-fetched to me. But I'm not here to debate that. Everybody seems to agree in the 2 basic things. It would be wonderful if we could do something that didn't raise the rates on the rest of the population. It just helped out the poorest or the oldest or the most disabled neighbors that we have. And the reason it's been coming up is because this is what people are telling me they want. And my only job on the City of Hoquiam Council is to hear that and bring it to the council to figure out. The city has the means to support most any reasonable backdrop for a program like this. It's not an earth-shaking precedent. It is something that other communities in Washington State have done successfully, and there's a couple of local communities have just started. They're kind of, walking on thin ice, hoping it works out. So far, so good, according to them. So the city does have the means. We just have to figure out a way to make it logical that we do it. It will be important to estimate both the fiscal impact on the city and the desire of our neighbors to even use it. We've heard from some citizens, but not all citizens. We've got 3,600 utility bills, something like that, go out every 2 months. And so that's 3,600 people. I see a couple of dozen here that are interested in this meeting, and that's awesome. So that's basically what we wanted to discuss. Some new stuff that has come out of some of the back and forth within the council has been to judge whether or not there's any interest in the program, and to judge where the money is coming from and how much is coming, is to make this a trial program, a 6-month program, or a 12-month program, to just see what it's costing in real dollars, because nobody knows. It's possible to take numbers and conflate them into nightmarish proportions and just scare the crap out of everyone that the city isn't going to be able to handle the load of a utility discount program other than the one it already has in place for senior citizens. I will point out that the rates on the senior citizen discount, even though they were actually put into play not too long ago, part of the proposal that I want to make is that we increase those to kind of reflect the costs of things in our economy today. Lastly, the economic outlook is not good. Nationally, internationally, statewide, countywide, unemployment numbers are going up, job numbers are coming down, food prices, medical, health care, gas, tires, utility rates are going up. I, for one, look very carefully at these things. I don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. Not yet. I'm hoping that someday we will. So the committee is being asked to come up with a way forward that includes marking up a motion. I'm certainly not an expert on doing, marking up a motion that allows the city to come back with a proposal that the entire council can talk about.
Good morning, hey, hey.
Vote on, and put in place if they feel it. It's got to come out of the committee first. So what's your pleasure, committee?
Just stop wasting time. This is not the time to do it, Dave. You know this. Your numbers aren't right. There's no way we can do it right now, period. There's no way we can bankrupt the city just so we can say that we did something.
Well,
We had a meeting, if it would have went to a vote, you didn't have enough votes to pass it through right now. And that's what the issue is, it's timing. And this isn't the time to do it.
It's interesting that you say that we don't have the votes to pass this in council, even though it never came up to a vote, because the discussion that we had a few days ago was that the small number of council members that actually even weighed in when we had that meeting. So to assume that their lack of weighing in means that they fall on your side of the camp here.
Right, okay, smart guy, so you don't think they talk to me later about this?
Wow.
You don't have to say anything in the meeting to make your point.
well, how do you make the
You
point?
can
if you don't
talk
say anything?
afterwards, and you can have discussions amongst each other.
Why discuss it afterwards?
Like
Why not
it
discuss it when it's public record for everybody to hear and see?
Because they don't want to, and they don't have to. If there's something they want to think through, this is something they want to discuss and get a better feel for it, so that they can make a choice decision, an informed decision. Because they've got two sides to pick from. We've thrown a lot of stuff at them, you guys throw a lot of stuff at them. If it's something we can do today, I would support it 100%, but right now, we cannot do it.
So when can we?
What's that?
So when can we?
I don't know. If I had the magic wand, I'd be waving it like a.
That's the problem. I don't know doesn't hold weight with the people that live here. I don't know doesn't help anybody. I don't know says, well, nobody gave me a crystal ball, so I can't predict the future ever, which means in theory, I don't ever actually have to do anything to solve this problem, because I can sit here and say, well, not now is good, and I don't know when is not good either.
So let's bankrupt the city then in a year. Right? By choice that we make today, not having everything planned out, everything thought through.
A 12-month pilot program would not bankrupt the entire city.
This is the bait and switch, this is the car salesman. Right? Once we start it, it's in, it's there. We're not gonna be able to back out of it once we start it.
We already
It's not
started.
have everything thought out and have everything prepared, but more than one step over that. It's either gonna be the city, and more than likely, you're gonna see your reduction in water rate, but it's gonna get picked up somewhere else. And that's the stuff that we need to do right now. We need to cross I's and dot our T's. Give it a real thought, instead of just throwing something out, putting something bland. Because there is no happy medium right now. Your side isn't right, this side isn't right. We gotta work together and find something that's gonna work for everybody, instead of being divisive like the city council really getting ready to be. It's like I'm sitting down in a city council meeting right now.
Well, this is what the pilot program was supposed to be, that middle ground. We proposed a discount in perpetuity. You proposed no discount for the indefinite future until things look better. And we came back and countered with, what about a pilot program that lasts between 6 and 12 months? Because then, when it's done, there will be no debating over what the numbers are, because we will have the hard data in front of
You're
us.
making an assumption. You're telling me I didn't have a solution? Yeah, we have a solution. community program where we can donate into it, help people that way to find a gap between where we're at now and what we're trying to get.
Do you guys' microphones work? Cause I'm kinda hard of hearing, I'm having trouble. Might have to turn the switch on or something. There you go. Here it is. One.
I had some questions earlier on that I think both proponents and opponents really looked at, and some of that was trying to identify how many people would be eligible for different scenarios. And I know that since our last meeting, there has been some inquiry into how many residential utility accounts we have. And there it came back on. Okay. And to kind of follow up, and one of the questions that I don't recall who asked it, but it was, what do we do about the residential utility accounts that are for rentals, and like trying to determine like who is experiencing the hardship, if it's the landlord, because out of the 3,400 residential utility accounts, I assume, there's at least a few hundred of those that are renters. I don't know if anybody's kind of proposed how to address those and what that looks like in the application process. But I'm curious what the thoughts are on that.
I mean, we discussed with Corey when we went and met with her at City Hall office, what that might look like and ways to go about making sure that like the renters who do apply for the hardship, that there's means of ensuring that A, they're applying in good faith, as well as B, a means of making sure that we have as a city the means to claw back anything that is taken from us in error, that people were not honest when they applied for. The reality of that situation on the ground is, I feel like that step is after we come to an agreement on what we want to try to do in the first place. Then we get to how we put that into play and what checks and balances that we need in there. We're just kind of stuck right now trying to decide if we're going to do something at all. And the difference between your plan and our plan is my plan is guaranteed to help somebody who applies for it. Your plan is banking on the possibility that somebody else is going to have money left over that they're willing to put towards somebody else's city bill in good faith and donate into a fund. And when that fund is empty, if somebody needs help, well, there's just nothing there for them because the guy that got here before you in line got the last $20 out of there on his discount. Our plan will help people, your plan might.
We've got a list of other alternatives in the community where you can go out and look, you just gotta get up and go out and help yourself. You gotta go out and do it.
But what you're proposing is those things will give you a discount on a different bill, maybe one time, that you can then move that money temporarily over so that you have more of your own personal money to pay for this bill that's already really, really high. See, we're trying to attack the problem directly from the water bill itself, from the water, storm, sewer, whatever utility bill we're gonna call it. Like, those other channels are great for getting assistance on your power bill and stuff, and those are great for people that are struggling, but that's not affecting our water bill directly, and that's not solving our problem. That's saying, go find your discount somewhere else in the community, because we're not gonna.
Those other programs are really good programs too, but another thing we gotta look at is those programs are also open to the entire harbor.
Mhm.
So you have Aberdeen and other people who will quickly soak up open positions in that too, so it won't, I'm just trying to play both sides. Their program would help just the needy in Hopeland, where the other programs help the needy in Grace Harbor. So if you have 150 spots open, that's going to not just go to Hopeland residents. There's no way to just nail that down, so that's just something to think about.
I think we used to have something that was an option, I think, to pay
So the roundups still in there. And don't we use a third party to look at eligibility, or we used to?
Speak in the microphone.
So we use CAP to look at eligibility, but the funds still are in Oakland, only going to Oakland residents. Yes, on the roundup. So we could just, I mean, it would at least be a start to advertise and promote that program that still exists. And right now, there are funds in there that have not been applied. That's correct. I mean, that's interesting to me, like, how come nobody's applying for this?
Yeah, I think Corey reached out to Cap to find out if we can get that money again.
Should we just move our chairs closer or what? I don't understand why we can't hear anybody. I'm not that hard of hearing. You guys are kind of talking to each other.
There's a problem with the microphone system and they gotta fix it.
Yeah, there was 2 years ago too.
Well, he wants to buy a new microphone system, I think we got a bid for that.
Well, get rid of the microphone and just put it on your big boy pants and speak loud.
Jeremy, you have a question?
No, I'm just commenting, we already have a program that's in place, there's already money in it, nobody's applying for it, and we're here complaining about the fact that we need more. That doesn't make sense to me.
How much money is in the account?
It's $5,600, but it doesn't matter because nobody applied for it. So, it's enough, apparently it's enough.
This is with the Cap office.
Yeah, well, it stays here, but just look at whether or not they're eligible.
Okay.
Whether they tell us, hey, this person applied and they're eligible, then we apply the funds. But probably, it sounds like nobody knew that even existed, even though it's on there. And so, apparently, if there's that money sitting there, there is enough already. I kind of doubt that. I think it's more likely that people didn't know this was available. And so maybe us as a council should talk about making the community aware that that program is available, and also reminding others that that option is there on their utility bills, because, I mean, I knew it was in there a long time ago, I didn't know it was still there today. And so, it might just be an awareness thing, we need to,
You know,
let
that
other people.
program has the same kind of small target people that it would target to help, or like the senior one does, a specific age, specific socioeconomic level.
It's only based on our current, the current eligibility of senior citizens, and so
Okay.
if this conversation of changing the threshold amounts or making it available to people that are not senior citizens, yes, that would change numbers in
Okay, so that would
eligibility.
change the way that looks too, okay.
It also
But we would have to market that,
Yeah.
because apparently people didn't know it was still there.
It also changes how much practical help they're getting, you know, because again, while I was sitting there, I just did a little paper math, and if 300 ratepayers out of the 3,300 that we have applied for that discount through the $5,600 you're saying, each person would be entitled to approximately $18 off of their bill one time. And I don't know about everybody else here, not that you want to look a gift horse in the mouth, but if we're talking about a discount that might apply over an extended period of time, it makes a real difference on their bill, or $18 one time, that kind of feels like a slap in the face.
Nobody's applied for it.
And this is
And I'm not gonna
program
say-
set up where people can participate in it, so this is at $5,600 with an $18 one-time shot on it. And we gotta get out there, we gotta promote it, we gotta push the fundraising balls. So you can pencil out that much stuff you want, we gotta look at the bigger picture, instead of getting it all ourselves, we can continue to do it over and over and over again.
You know how long it took to fill that $5,600?
It doesn't matter because the way that it works right now, it's a percentage discount on the rate. And so it's not take however much is there and divide it by however many people apply. It's, if you applied, you're eligible.
Right, I only did this math this way specifically to see like if we thought this many people apply. The point is eventually, if that $5,600 took 2 years to raise, and we exhaust it before 2 years is up, then that's not a viable long-term solution, because every so often, it's gonna be completely empty and there's gonna be nothing for anybody to draw from until people start to do this again. And that's what I'm saying, we're running into the wall. On one side, there's a plan that might possibly help people for a certain amount of time, as long as there's a little bit of money left in it, maybe. And then there's another plan on the other side, that if you qualify under true, honest qualifications that will be in an application for you to fill out, it will help somebody. We can disagree with the situation on the ground, but that is the reality. One of them will help people, one of them might.
Okay, that's perfect, so let's go back to square one. Let's talk about who's gonna help and who's not gonna help, all right? Let's take the next step and figure out that if we do run short, and if we're probably going to, who eats it? Does the city eat it? Do the ratepayers eat it? Who's gonna eat it? Because this money just doesn't disappear. It isn't on your little magic piece of paper when you stick in the register.
It actually does disappear though, that's the thing.
Or it goes somewhere else.
It does disappear though, that's the thing. You're saying this pizza costs $8 million to make a year. We're saying now you have $7.8 million on the generous side to make that same pizza. It's our job to give the people who work at the city the budget to do the things that they need to do, and it's their job on the other end to be responsible with those resources and figure out how to make that work. It's not costing us anything, it's a reduction of incoming revenue.
In the face. I've asked you guys, show me how it's gonna work. I wanna see how it's gonna work.
We just did a 12-month pilot program where people can apply, where we state from the outset that this is going to end 12 months from the calendar day that it starts, without a guarantee that it moves forward, but it's going to provide us, the council, with real data to see how much it costs.
It isn't as simple as you think it is.
It is when the application process states that this is a program that ends in 12 months. Just like anything else in government, it doesn't have to be permanent unless you decide to make it permanent.
Oh, yeah, I have a question. If you set up a pilot program for 12 months, gives a discount, say, 40% is $88. Okay, average bill is $220 a month. So $88 a month.
$88 every 2 months. That's based on a billing cycle, not per month.
Okay, I'm going on monthly.
Okay.
Okay, so $220 a month, because the average bill is about $220 a month. So you get an $88 discount, say 500 people sign up for it, $40,000. Where's that $40,000 coming from? Because we still need that $40,000 to pay for the water treatment plant, the sewer lines, the water lines.
Some buildings, some
You can't just say, well, you just have this money to work. It doesn't work that way. So where are you proposing that money comes from? The general fund? Because if that money comes out of the general fund can't afford it. Look, I ran these numbers. The poverty, percentage for the city of Copium is 17.2%. That's 590 households out of 3,400, okay? And if they qualify for 40% discount, that's $88 a month that they're each gonna get. And at $88 a month for 590 bill payers, that's $52,000 a month, or $624,000 a year. We don't have $624,000 in the general fund that can be slid off to compensate for these water utility bills. We don't. Corey, do we have an extra $624,000 laying around? Yeah.
So
So,
good
in
thing.
I'm
the
concerned.
foreseeable future, we're gonna have this available? Not that you're aware. Thank you.
And that's a fair question, but that's also assuming that every single person that qualifies for the discount is going to qualify at the maximum discount as well. So it's fine when you're trying to figure out where we're going to pay for this to assume a worst case scenario so you have that high mark number. But again, what I will go back to is until people actually do the work to apply for the discount, take the pilot program on a run and see how many people actually apply for it, you can't know for sure whether 200 of those people are only gonna qualify for 15%. And right then and there, we've more than half the total estimated hit on the budget.
But again, my concern is, you create a discount program, now there's not enough money coming in to pay for the water and sewer system. So that money comes out of the general fund. The general fund gets cut up into portions to pay for all of the city's expenses. What are we not gonna pay for to pay the difference on these discount programs? What are we not paying for? Are we not paying for roads? Are we not paying for police cars?
You can't lay anybody else off, we're already running on it.
Yeah, we're already under bare bones.
You've got everybody in the
What do we
city
stop
about
paying
that
for?
asking. We're asking way more than we're giving back, and that's not fair, because people have to work extra, come in early, stay late, work for their lunches.
Wow. Wow.
Quiet.
Wow. Kick you out. Until someone's quiet.
Nobody's against this isn't the time to do it, we have to have a plan. We just can't throw out numbers and say, hey, let's let the brain trust figure it out.
That's not what we're
You
trying, that's
can't
not what
do
we're,
that.
that's
I
not
don't
what
think
we're trying to do.
anybody is opposed to a discount program, but when you scale it out, we can't afford it.
I would posit there are some people who are genuinely against the discount program at this point.
Well, I
Just
know
so we're
that.
clear.
You guys are hearing one
Discount is
side,
great.
I'm hearing another side. I say, hey, don't yell at me, I'm on your guys' side, you need to talk to you two, so you guys can try to justify it to them. You guys know where my stand is on this.
Well,
It's not
Correct,
anti.
your stand is
or-
now's not the time, and potentially never in the future will be the time.
What's gonna happen tomorrow? Are you gonna have spaghetti for dinner, or something else happens, you're gonna make sloppy joes? You don't know.
That doesn't mean you don't make a plan. You ask me what I'm having for dinner, actually tomorrow, I could go to my house and pull up my calendar and tell you what's for dinner.
Or almost $750,000, your numbers are roughly $30,000 or $40,000. So you're saying we should take the gamble off of your numbers and forget her numbers?
No, we met with
No,
Corey
we
and
should
we estimated that we're about
estimate on the higher side, figure it out, so
$240,000.
we're not caught.
Yeah, we sat down with Corey and we did numbers and we estimated that we're at about $240,000, give or take, worst case scenario.
For the life of the pilot program.
Yes, we sat down and we
Do we
looked
have,
at the spreadsheets and poured over them with it.
Again,
Can I ask where the
Where-
$240,000 came from?
no, that was just the estimate.
well,
We're gonna, if,
oh, wait a second.
Don't
So
throw
you
my name
put a
out there,
notice
but
in
I-
the mouth.
like, I don't know that.
That's not fair to her. So if you guys are gonna do this and say it was $240,000, you guys work with her, don't do that to her.
I don't know, I don't know what the $240,000 was, so if you're gonna go, like, just educate me and remind me.
We looked at what it was currently costing the seniors, and then below that, you had what you estimated it would cost in addition to what we're already budgeting for the seniors.
I
And it was
said,
north of $200,000.
the only numbers I ran what the financial impact of the current senior citizen discount program, and, which is $72,000. Thank you, $72,000, that's the current financial yearly impact of the current senior citizen discount, program. And then I ran what the proposed new rates of the 15, 25, 40% to up those, without increasing the income limits. That was 101,505,000. That's an increase of 29,181. Okay, that does not take into consideration the income increase. So that's just the increase in the percentages in the current senior citizens that qualify for the discount. And then, I will say, Mr. Smith did email me and asked me to run what it would cost for 300 people to be at a 25% discount. Just what would that cost? And that was $188,671 per year. So I don't know where the 240 came from, I'm just saying.
I mean,
I didn't ring a bell in my head, so, yeah.
Just because I'm kind of new to this, where does the, discount money come to pay for the discount for the seniors they already? Is that pushed on to the ratepayers right now?
No, the utility fund absorbs it, utility fund, general fund, and ambulance fund absorb it.
So it's already not paid for either?
Correct. So ultimately, we have our budgeted expenses, and then the revenue
So if it comes from other places other than, where did the, discussion come from that it would have to by law be pushed on to the other ratepayers, just so I'm.
No one said that.
Yeah, nobody said
Okay,
that.
that's what I thought, but I was hearing
No,
last
no, no.
time, that it would have to be pushed on by the way the state of Washington was, I think it was. One of the talking.
No, I think I don't remember anyone stating by law. I think where they were coming from is when it gets too big. I mean, for instance, the general fund covers, the general fund, the street fund, it helps the cemetery fund, it funds all of our city parks. I mean, it covers police, court, fire. So the general fund covers a lot. And so then when you also add in, it's also covering utilities, then like there's only so much it can cover, right? So like then when all that comes, when all those monies run out, that has to come from somewhere. So then it's gonna have to come from, the rates are gonna have to increase to help cover the difference.
Happened in Milwaukee when the last time the city of Oakland's utility rates went down because our systems got more efficient, or our processes got more efficient, or they required less staffing to do so?
Not since I've been here, we did the rate increase, we did the rate increase a couple years after I started, so, and then that was set for the first 5 years, and then it's been a CPI increase, but also, unfortunately, with our rates going up, our rates of paying for things also go up, right? Our rates for, we also have to pay for the water for the city. We also have to pay for electricity or the supplies to clean the water, or, the supplies at the sewer treatment plant.
You don't.
Infrastructure improvements, rates go up for the city as well.
We are the city. We pay those.
It's mostly labor, isn't it?
It is labor, yeah. Labor, but also, infrastructure improvements, we pay for a lot throughout grants, but also there's a lot of matching costs that we have to do.
Our rates basically came out to the rates that we did a sewer, stormwater, water, recently in 2020. And then we did an ambulance rate study, FCS, which was 23. These studies were set the rates for rolling up.
And on both studies, we implemented lower than what was recommended. The council implemented a lower amount just because as Carl Schramm explained at a prior council meeting, that it was a hard pill for council to swallow, as they knew that it would be difficult for citizens to pay. So I believe for the rates, they discounted at 17%, for the utility rates. And then I don't know the percentage off the top of my head for the ambulance increase, but that was also decreased.
I just see an expense that continues to climb up.
Isn't that the world today, though, unfortunately?
Like the rent and the cost of groceries keeps going up.
Correct, which is why offering some kind of a discount to the people who are most impacted by the increase of prices of everything is so vitally important. Because if we just take the water bill, the utility bill itself as the case study and say, this thing is on the Price is Right, the little yodeler guy is climbing, and eventually we, the people that live here, fall off that cliff because it climbs so high that nobody can afford to pay for their water anymore.
That's the duty, but we don't need to push the yodeler off the edge like we're gonna do if we do this right now. That's exactly what we're gonna do.
The yodeler falls off the edge because you don't have money to pay your bills. You can't afford to be in Oakland, but you can't afford to leave because you're poverty locked here, because you can't save up enough money to move somewhere else where it's cheaper to live if you can't afford to pay for your existence either. We're trying to offer the people who are stuck like that, who don't have anything that they can leverage to pay for things. They don't have stuff that they can just sell that's not a personal family heirloom to make up costs, because they don't own a bunch of assets that they can leverage against that for capital when they need it. That's not how life works for them. They're stuck here, and even if they wanted to move somewhere in Grace Harbor where it was cheaper to live and have water like in the prairie, they can't, because they can't afford the cost to get out of the town. It's eating them from the inside. And we're the people tasked to come sit down at this table and find ways to help them because we work for them.
See, if someone wants to paint themselves in the corner, I don't care. I'm not gonna make assumptions like you are, paint someone in the corner.
I'm not making assumptions, I'm telling you the reality on the
They
ground.
don't have to stay here.
How are they supposed to leave if they don't have money?
Participate in the community, and we need to be the leaders that we are elected to be, and make sure whatever we do is responsible.
If they're not required to leave, how are they supposed to leave if they don't have the money to afford it? Where are they supposed to go? Where do they get the resources to pick up their whole life and their whole family? A lot of people who have lived here for decades and just go somewhere else. If they're already struggling to pay what it costs to live here, where do they have the extra money to go somewhere else?
This meeting is being recorded.
They don't. They don't, and they won't, the more that this gets expensive.
And just for also the record, there are people that I've spoken to that this discount doesn't even help, that feel that exact same.
Okay,
Just so you guys know.
we're running out of time.
Yeah, we have about 6 minutes.
I forgot to mention at the start, or did I, that Denise called out, she's the chairman, the chairperson of this committee. So, good discussion. Keep in mind, Greg, that the rest of the council isn't here. I'm going to see that during the council meeting under new business that we schedule a public hearing. I'd like to encourage the people that came out to hear the Public Utilities Committee debate this issue, that you find out who your council person is and contact them about how you feel. Send them an email, call them on their telephones. If you don't know who it is, contact the city. The city website's got pictures of us all.
Better yet, come to the public hearing and
We're gonna do a public
voice in
hearing.
person.
Yes, yeah. This is a complicated issue. Obviously, there's a lot of passion involved. Part of the problem is...
Recording in progress.
That's cool. Part of the problem is that I'm not a city finance expert, and nobody else is either. But Corey is, and Brian is, and our legal, Mr. Johnson over there is. And what we want to do eventually is bring this issue to them with our layman questions and have them give us opportunities for options to do what we want to do. Is that fair? Did you hear that? Then,
5 minutes and break in.
yeah, thanks for attending. This concludes.
You are no longer recording.
So since there's only a couple of minutes, I'm just gonna go ahead and let it keep recording for the city council meeting. Still going.
I'm almost fired up. Where's everything?
Yeah, you're right. Autumn is correct. It's an awful long live. I'll stop it and then I'll restart it in a couple of minutes with the actual city councilman. So you guys need to share that. There was some unbelievable words spoken here today.